guys, so we are back, and on the first episode of Project I, we're going to be discussing something interesting. We're going to be discussing motherhood, child rearing, womanhood, and the process of naming a child. What goes into all these things? Our primary socialization usually begins in the home with the mother, nurturing the nature of the child. And we rarely get the opportunity to ask our parents, especially our mothers, what was it like during labour? Was it difficult to give birth? What was that process like? We rarely discuss these things. And the transition from womanhood to motherhood, these are different identities, and I find them very interesting. So I brought my mum in today to discuss it from her point of view. And I also want to find out what my name actually means, because this has come into question a lot. What does my name mean? Apparently I'm the first of my name. We're going to find out today. So she's going to introduce herself and we're going to get into it. Stay tuned. Write your comments below. What does your name mean? Were you named by your mum? Not by your dad? Were you named after anybody? Are you a mother? How old were you when you had your first child? Let's discuss.
Hi everyone. I am Obi's mom, as she rightly said. Our topic today is about motherhood, identity, and naming ceremony. What do you think about your name? Did your mom name you, or your dad, or the community where you come from? What do you think? What does your name mean? Write it in the comments.
I want to know about what it was like for you growing up as a young girl before you became a woman. What was it like in your household? Which parent were you the most close to? Did you have a lot of brothers and sisters? Like, what was your upbringing like?
I was brought up by my auntie. But if I look back the way I grew up among boys. In my family, I never knew most of them until I was brought home during the war.
Which war?
Nigerian Biafra War.
Oh yeah.
That was when I came to know, and majority of them are boys. I didn't have any big sister to look up to. So my cousins and my nephews were all boys, and all their friends were all in our house. So everything about me is like a tomboy. I grew among them. I joined them to do all this play and all that. But then, nobody to look up to as a sister.
Yeah.
And most of the students in that our area were staying in my uncle's house. So I was among them.
So you were hearing all their conversations?
Everything they talk about, I hear it. And sometimes I copy them, like record songbook and all that. I will be singing it. But then none of them said, don't do this, don't do that. So, but what I was doing was I watch, I listen, I hear, until one day one of the boys was saying to my cousin, oh, I want to protect my sisters.
From what?
From being spoiled by boys.
Oh.
Then he was presenting me as his skinny cousin, pretty. Then I said to myself,
Oh, he was showing off that you were...
He was showing off about me. So I said to myself, these people are protecting theirs, and this one is exposing me to them. So I made up my mind, even among them. Nobody touches me. Anywhere you touch me, I will blow it. So they began to call me, don't touch. So they know how I was behaving. And anything I see them do, I'll blow it. I was really searching to know how to protect myself among them.
The 4 or 5 people you're around is who you start picking up their characteristics. So if it's lots of boys, you tend to start acting like the group you're with, because that's what we do as children growing up. So back to what you were saying.
As I was saying, at a point, my father actually said to me, it's like you are in this village looking for the boys. Yeah, because they're always around my house. They always come to eat what I cook. And they always come around, like in the evenings. They will get around talking about issues. And some of them will be talking about what they do with girls. I decided nobody should come to a house without letting my father know that she's looking for me. You don't dare come into a house. You be at the front door. I come and speak to you. Because I wasn't afraid of them.
So do you think that's why they were comfortable with you being in their company? Because you're not the same as them?
I'm not the same as them, but I was very confident being around them.
Do you think if you're not confident, they'll act differently?
They will.
What would they do? According to what you heard from growing up?
Yes, they could lure me into doing things I wasn't supposed to do.
So do you feel like they see you as an equal or a peer, or do they see you as something different? Do you think boys...
They see me as a threat. Because there was a time, disco, when after the war, there are so many things, everybody was like, is it life? So there was all this disco group, like Masses, Semicolon, all that. They were all going, having shows at night.
Yeah.
So they were going, and for some of my friends who are girls, were going out with them. But I said, no, I'm not going. So that time, because from the family I grew up, I won't say they are well-to-do, but they are comfortable.
Yeah.
If I wear anything good, like clothes, fabric, or nobody will wear it, they will say they can afford it.
Yeah.
So it was like every clothes I wear, my friends would like to wear it. So they were all going to this show. One night I joined them. I wanted to go, not knowing that my brother was looking at me, and he heard every discussion we were having. One of them said, if you don't have dress, I'll go and get mine. So we all walked. They were climb up the window to go. So my brother said, I heard what you're saying. Where are you going?
Dead.
So I couldn't go. I couldn't go with them. Then the next time, another friend of mine came and said to me, there's a show somewhere there at one of the primary schools. My dad doesn't know all these things, so he did not know.
Because he was quite older.
Yeah, my father is an elderly man who is very careful.
Well, he died at 130 or something like that. How old was he at around that time?
Well, I can't tell how old he was, but he was
70s or 60s?
Could be more than that.
Oh, yeah.
So at that time, he was always watching. He was a gentleman who is well respected in the community. So growing up with him makes me to be a bit independent, because he wasn't sitting me down to say, do this, do that, but he speaks in parable. So when he speaks, I know what he wants. And from there, after the war, that was when I see that life wasn't really what it should be, because everything was on me as the girl in the family.
Your mum died after the war, so now you're looking after your siblings during the war, which was a horrible, probably terrifying, you can't put words to it, experience for a child to go through. Well, as some people classify it as a genocide, people were dying, people were being massacred, blood everywhere, children, bodies all over the floor, people were hungry, starvation, blockades of AIDS coming through, bombing. Imagine being a child, seeing all that stuff. It's traumatizing, something that no one is supposed to see, to be honest. So now after that, your mum dies during the war.
Yeah.
So she's lost her mum, so you're partly an orphan. And then your dad's quite an elderly man, so I don't believe he would have had that much time to take you through every step of the way, with everything going on. School must have been finished at the time, or there was no school because of the war.
There was no school, but after the war, the school started. And I wasn't able to go to school as early as I should, because my youngest sister was left.
So you had to look after her?
I had to look after her until after a while. We actually got my dad to believe that the teachers wanted me to come back, because it was free education at that time by UNICEF.
Oh.
So when I was going to market to sell food crops, the teachers would call me and say, well, why are you not in school anymore? Why don't you come back to school? So we just fabricated lie with my younger brother and told my dad that the teachers want me to come back to school. That was how I went back to primary school. And
primary school!
Yeah, at that time,
oh my God,
my primary school education was just by chance, because farming has taken over.
Oh yeah, because somebody was saying this the other day. Obviously there's a war, a genocide. People are being wiped out. Houses are being blown to smithereens. And then if farming is agriculture is the main part of Igbo culture in Igbo land, if there is no a healthy soil to grow crops, you're dead. And if they're not bringing in food, you're starving, and that is the way that a lot of people end up losing their lives.
Thank God we have acres of land.
Right.
And my father...
How many acres of land did Granddad have?
I can't tell you, but it's a lot.
Okay.
So, and fertile too. He was a rich farmer, and women in the village come to harvest our farm. You can see how much we have. And they used to call him Ojiji Akpo Awa.
Ojiji Akpo Awa.
Awa. Which means a man that uses yam as a kola nut.
Oh, like a welcoming gift.
Yes. So we produce melon a lot.
Melons, egusi?
Egusi, yes. We produce ogo, we call it pumpkin.
The leaves?
Yeah, both the leaves and the seed.
Yeah.
My father has palm plantation, cocoa plantation, banana plantation, plantain plantation, and pineapple orchard. So great.
So you don't even need to shop?
No, we don't shop, but we use it for our school fees. When we tried for school fees, he was talking about this person targets, we will go and sell. And the irony of it is that when we go to the market and the prices came down, he will ask us to carry it home. And we'll be coming home crying with it. He doesn't want to sell his products as a giveaway. Yeah,
because of the quality.
Yes. So that was how my growing up started. And I learned to fend for myself.
To be industrious.
To be industrious and make things by myself. So there are so many things I lay my hand. Akara, I make akara. Chin chin, chin chin. Puff puff.
And this age was what, from 9 to?
From 9 to 13, 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were working.
So I was able to do all this. In school, so I sell peanuts during break.
Yeah.
So when we have inter-house sports, I will make a giddy.
Like sports day?
Yeah, sports day. And go there early morning and put it under the tree. After they have run and they're exhausted, they come and buy from me.
Aww.
Most of the time, the one I will give will be more than what I sold. So that's how, and it makes the boys in my village to be my friend. They always come to and eat, they will chat and chat away the night. Sometimes I'll be making garri at night. They will sit around me to accompany me. So my growing up is mostly among the boys. And even now, all my friends in my village are boys. They call me.
And do you feel protected by them?
Well, there was nothing to be protected for. Yeah, because there was no fight. There was no like pagan boys and these boys. No. It's a community. Yeah, it is a community where they care for you, but then they look out for you. But then they know who you are. They know my boundaries. Therefore, we are friends. And they're always there for me. When I ask for them to help me, they will help. So this is the way I grew up. And then until I left the village to Enugu to study.
And I guess rearranging life and becoming a young lady. So I guess you can tell us what that was like for you.
Well, I'm living in a different era now, living with my uncle and his wife. Actually, I studied in his school.
Zion School of Commerce.
Yeah, Zion School of Commerce. That's where I studied.
It was his school?
Yeah, it was his school.
But he founded the school?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He's been there since 1960s. I didn't know when.
But he established that school?
Yes, it was his school, yes.
Fun fact?
He was the first commercial school or sectorial school that was in Enugu at the time. So all his students were all in foreign land and introduced their siblings to go to their school. So it was a very...
That's a big deal.
Christian school, yes.
Okay, so 18 to 19, 20, and you're studying economics and clerical work. So learning how to be a typist, a secretary, admin, and I guess we know what economics is. So then after that, you go to where?
After that, I got a job. I worked in that place for about 2 years. and there was another exit to the north as well, in Gogola State, which is Taraba now.
But do you think it was more difficult being in the UK than being in Nigeria?
When I got married and came to this country, wow, it was like, where am I? I couldn't figure out anything. And Christmas is their time of celebration. People are all over the place. But here, I was preparing for Christmas, and so that no single soul came to my house. Everywhere was quiet. Then, when I went to Lewisham College, I was asked to write an essay about this country. And I have read something, REMEC It, Cold Welcome. I have read it. So when they were asking me to write an essay, I wrote bluntly how I think this place is like. And this is a cold place, you don't have friends, and the Christmas, I thought people will come to my house. I ended up being on my own, and nobody came in. And again, back home we use AC, but here you are dying with cold. I was just saying how I felt. And I actually said to them, at a point I wanted to go home, because I couldn't see myself living in this country, cold, you don't have anybody to talk to, and I was in Ireland before I came here. So life was so difficult that I don't even know, don't we go to church? Even in the church, you see the difference between color. Yeah, you feel isolated, they may say hello and hug you, but it doesn't go far. So we were just, my husband was like, yeah, I go, man, calm down.
Okay, so we've spoken about quite a few things, and I guess now we've transitioned from living with your uncles, getting a job in the north, going to live with your uncle, being kicked out of your uncle's house. So your uncle's here now and you're staying in his house because you need to go to school, and it's his school. So that's a privileged situation to be in.
Because it's my uncle now.
Yeah.
I don't have to go somewhere else.
Exactly.
Assumption.
And there were loads of boys and you were the only girl. So as you grew up into teenagehood and then you're growing up as a young woman, 18 to 20, schooling, living outside of your family's house again, what do you think the situation with do you think men, because the boys will now become men, do you think that there was a change in the way that you saw how men behaved?
Well, when men are together, they have no discussion without a woman into the discussion.
They're always talking about women.
How girls come around them and what they do with them. So I wasn't quite happy with it, though I wasn't a Christian at that time, but my eye was open that at a point, that building my uncle built, where the students were, that's where these girls go to visit.
The dorm?
Yeah, I will go there and stand at the door and be pretending that I'm peeling melon, and no girl passes there.
So you were blocking the door to stop them from getting...
I refused to allow them.
But you're protecting the girls?
Well, I'm not happy about what they're doing. These boys are deceiving them. And I am one of them. I don't want to be that. And then when they come, I just stay there. Once they see me, they go back. Until one of them pretended, I didn't know that she was already there. And when I was there, one of the boys came and told. So I was in front of his door, peeling the melon. And then the young man that was waiting for one of the girls saw me there and saw that my presence there will stop that girl from coming.
Oh.
So he went and told the young man.
Cop block.
He went and told my friend that he should tell me to go. Then my friend told me, I said, I'm not going anywhere. So the girl that was already indoors was about to go and saw me there. He didn't know what to do, and she's already out. She jumped the fence. Yeah, she jumped the fence, but I saw her. I said, oh, hello.
I feel like there has to be, because in primary school, secondary school, secondary socialization, you have the opportunity to learn about the opposite sex.
Yeah.
And mingle with them as friends.
And mingle with them as friends.
On a neutral point.
Right.
But then there's the part where you're separated. You go with the girls, the guys go with the boys. But now that you've been grown up in the middle, it's almost like your gender is mixed. So you're like a boy and a girl at once.
That is it.
Or what they call a tomboy.
But it can be friends. That was one of the things my father liked about me. The first time he saw me going into the room with a young man who pretended to be helping me with copying my songs in the choir. So he discovered that I was naive about all this. What he did was brought this big microphone.
Gramophone?
Yeah.
How much was that to have afforded in those days?
I don't know. So he put it there. I put the pin and said to me, put the pin here, wind it. And when you wind it, the music will be playing. So he tried, not openly saying, don't go out with boys. They trusted me, but they know their boundaries.
So almost like the girl next door, the friendly girl. But then in terms of that, how do you get to experience a guy approaching you, wanting to romance you, all that stuff?
Oh yes. When I was in Enugu, I had a lot of them around me because I had a very long hair. When I leave it, they come. And when they come, they tell me their intention. I will always say, sorry. I remembered somebody who actually helped me with his Okada, motorcycle. He saw that I was stranded and helped me. Then, when he helping me, he came up with a different subject. I just said, look at how I could have respected you. Now you just belittle yourself for saying this kind of a thing.
What did he want to do? What did he say?
He wanted me to be his friend now, to be his girlfriend, to go to his house. I said, I'm sorry. Look at you just done a good thing to me. Then you spoil it with this.
So it's almost like you're no chancer. There's no way around you.
Let me give you an example. This young man who was my cousin's friend, very intelligent young man, he had a mind to make me his girlfriend. You know what he did? He knew that I don't allow anybody around me. Then he came very closer to me, knowing that I love songs. He took me home. And I was relaxed, singing all the songs. Then when he saw that I am building confidence in him, he brought in record songbook for me to be singing, which I was singing without knowing the meanings. That time I was about 15, 16. And I was saying, son, you be a bachelor boy. I was singing all these things.
He had different intentions.
Yeah, different intentions. And the first time she did that, she took me to the bush. I wanted to play some kind of game. I ran.
Ew!
When I ran, one of the teachers
who
knew me in the village, I ran to their house, the way they were doing something there. Then he said, where did you go to? I said, this person took me to the bush. This is what he did. The man dragged me into the house to say, come and tell me what he did here, not outside. Because he knew what the young man was
so you were naive?
Yes.
You were just open?
I was open. Innocently. Until one day I got there, he was nearly going to push me down. I don't know how my hand got twisted on his neck. And he struggled to...
You don't know how you put him in a headlock?
Yeah, so immediately he was released, he left me there. And myself, I just said to myself, why? And I went to see his cousin. Why would she do this? For me, it didn't mean anything to me. I just said, I don't want to
be friends.
He's still my friend, but I don't want that. You shouldn't come near me. For me, if you touch me, I will tell. But when they come to that stage, I will give you a bit of my mind and let you go.
And that was enough to deal with the situation. Yeah. So,
but I will not say, I will see you and don't say hello.
Yeah.
I will say hello to you, but they have known now.
It's almost like forgiveness.
That is it. So, but he is the same person who took me to Scripture Union.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's what I used to say to you before. It was the boys in church that would be sending smelly messages. I want to do this, I want to do that. And I think because I was so free, and because I was close with Dad, and I speak to you about, and because I had similar responsibilities, that confidence, the self-certainty, and the freedom to express myself, and I didn't fear the boys.
Yeah.
I don't fear my dad. So they're looking at it like, oh, maybe she would allow me, she would do this. And if you see the messages that those boys, I can list the names of those boys from different churches. Huh? I'll go to the house and then they'll be praying and saying, let's speak in tongues.
That's what to make you. That's why the Bible says God knows those who are His.
If I like a guy, I'm not talking to him. So if I'm gisting with you like that, I don't think nothing, because I feel like to be attracted to a guy, then all of a sudden you know you're a woman, because there's something to protect. Because after you go past talking, sometimes the chemistry will start coming and you think, okay, should we hold hands? The moment you hold hands, everything is now soft. You now want to kiss. If you now want to kiss somebody, want to pinch this, touch that, grab that.
You are 100% right. And this is the lesson every girl should learn. It's not about what you say. It's about how you project what you say. The man you have been going about with, you kiss on the escalator, you kiss in the lift, you hug and do this. You don't know him, he doesn't know you. Then you think you have known him. When you
as soon as you get into the house,
once you come into the house,
God, when no one is
you
there,
see dirty knickers, pants,
you see who they are,
socks all over the place. You see everything. Then you'll be wondering, so this is what this man is just dressing up out there. I don't even know who he is. Then he will look at you. Oh, this woman, I thought she's a humble woman. The way she talks, the way she reacts, the way she do, then then there's conflict here. Because two of you haven't sat down and said,
How does that affect the kind of guy that you marry?
I have met so many people who came to me and spoke. I said, I have to pray. And remember, this is not a one-day journey. I'm always around them. And he's a photographer. I always go to his studio and take pictures. And when we go there, you see men come around, they talk. So when we are talking, they say, some girls are arrogant, some girls are rude, some
indirect.
At a point he was doing this. One day I knocked at his door because he lives in the same compound. He said, "Oh mama, what is that?" I said, "Please, we are getting too much about this. And you are so sarcastic about it as an indirect speech you are making on me. Let me tell you, God is not an author of confusion. And if He tells you, He will tell me. So let brotherly love continue. Don't fight about this. He never forgot this. So that one, we still were friends. Another person came around and they were just showing interest. At a point, our choir master called me and said, he said, the way you behave, it doesn't seem like you worry about it. I said, I'm not worried about it. It's when the right time comes, I will get married. Even my pastor will be asking me, when is it? I said, is it Jesus? When He comes with God? He said, no, it's not about Jesus. I'm talking about this. People thought that I don't care. But I was being careful. I said, let me hear from God first. I kept myself and decided to keep quiet. Many were coming. At a point, my father asked me about a young man who came to me and said, I want to marry you. My dad asked me, could he be able to marry you? I said, Dad, what do you mean? He said, he's a bit quiet. And then I said, but he is one following me. And when I noticed that young man was like, he saw how everywhere I go, men, Goma. He said, he's from Cross River. He said, Yamiu, Goma. So, and the last bit is that you always have blood pressure when you see me with men.
Oh, so jealousy.
I don't want you to have a stroke when we eventually marry. Please, can you go? He thought I was joking. I just told him, I said, let's leave it here.
So you eventually get married?
Yeah, I eventually got married. But getting married, it wasn't like it. I knew my husband, but we are not friends. We are not close. He gives me lift at night when we finish our practices, but that's where it ends. But what happened was that anytime he wants to keep his things, like his book, he hand it over to me. I don't know why. When he lost his book, I was the one who bought a notebook and copied all the songs and gave it to him. I didn't know why. I didn't know why.
Do you think he reminded you of your dad?
I don't think so.
Oh.
So when one day he was giving me a lift, a young lady, his colleague saw him. I said, Vin, this girl looks like you. Is he your wife? Is she your wife? He just laughed, and as we moved on, he said, did you hear? I said, please, what is she talking about? I just stopped that. I didn't want to get involved in it because I don't discuss marriage. I don't talk about it. People say maybe she this and that. I don't discuss it. Some girls will say, oh, men are scarce. I say, if men are scarce, I'm one of the girls that are scarce, and somebody has to look for me.
Clock it.
Yeah, somebody has to look for me. So, until he traveled, came to this country, I don't have any close contacts with him. I don't talk to him.
Except going to practice.
Except going to church.
Being
He's in our
members.
church, in reconcilers. He's in scripture union. So we see ourselves.
So when he's dropping you home, what are you not talking about?
We don't talk about anything. He just takes me home. No, we're not that close to chat about issues.
Oh.
And he sees me as somebody who is so serious.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you weren't even gisting, laughing?
No, we don't gist.
You just sit there like
because
that
I
in
see
the car?
him as somebody who, I see him as, it's not my, I like to be very conservative about men. I have my own way of socialization.
Oh.
Yes.
So he was popular?
He was known, he was popular even when he was in IMT. And for
but
me,
he's older than you by 7
he's older
years.
than me,
So
I never thought, ever, that,
do you think he was protective of you? Why
I
did
don't
he drive
think
you
so.
home?
He's just a simple Christian who comes to church with us and does everything we do. And in that reconcilers group where we are so friendly like a family. Yeah. But some of them were thinking, Vin, can you give Ogoma lift? Can you give Ogoma lift? But for me, it's not my business. I can catch the taxi and go. But because he lives near me, so he used to give me a lift. And then at a point I said, God, if it is him, your word never said a woman that findeth a man. It said he that findeth a woman. So wherever he is, go and talk to him. I'm not going to let anybody know about it. And when that was getting too much, I have to get a piece of paper, a book, I tore a piece of paper from it and wrote all the names of everybody that says hello in terms of marriage. Yes. And rumple them and drop on the table, close my eyes to pick.
Is that witchcraft?
It's not witchcraft.
Is that in the Bible?
I was just trying myself.
Trying what?
I don't know.
What made you want to do that?
I don't know why.
Did it come instinctively?
I just thought about it and I did it. So when I closed my eyes and picked, I picked twice, it was him.
Is it?
Yeah.
So is that
twice?
Do you think that is...
Whatever it is, I don't know. Sometimes I can be weird when I behave. I don't know how.
Do you think that that's weird, or is that your own gift?
I don't know. It could look weird, but
some
that's what
people
happened.
might say that that's how witches behave.
I don't know about witches.
Or people who do read the stars.
No. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know anything about witch, and I don't want to be involved in that.
But you wrote all the names down of all the guys that liked you.
Yes.
Was over 20.
Yes.
You now put it down like this.
No, they're not over 20.
How many?
That's
How many then?
There's a lot of them, but
okay. Then you now put them down like this.
On the table.
And then you chose like this,
I
and then
just
Dad's name
closed
came
my
out.
eyes and picked twice.
Were you opening your eye like this a little
I
bit?
didn't open. Because they are rumpled now. So
that is
when that happened,
interesting.
that's all.
So you didn't fancy him?
It's my brother-in-law, nothing.
You didn't think he was attractive?
I wasn't looking for attractiveness because he that wrote, well, I don't know what was his intention. Yeah. So one now I replied, he said, oh, he replied back and said, I thought I'm no more in your book of remembrance. That was it. So we started corresponding, how are you, this and that, how is your story, this and that. Until one particular letter came. I'm looking for my second half.
Ew!
You see, he wrote them, they call me.
So he was sure and you were sure, and then you just both moved accordingly?
Yes. I started writing, get me your ring size, get me your this, get me your this. That's what happened.
So do you think that that's, people are saying in these days, they say if he wanted to, he would. So if he wants to, if a man wants to, he would. Do you feel like in that situation, compared to the other guys, he was the one that showed you that he wanted to in the way that you preferred?
Remember, even when somebody else was trying to, this person has told his family, everybody.
Oh,
yeah.
So there was someone that wanted to marry you beforehand, and he took it all the way to
marry
his
me,
family.
but he never said it. I just kept myself because he studied in the same school. So I actually preached to him. Then I didn't know anything about what he was thinking. I see him as a very good friend of mine until one day my spirit will be saying, this young man is not consistent in his Christian faith. He wants to be a journalist, and you are always out for crusade. Will he go with you? Will he go with you?
So you wanted to make sure that your lifestyle aligned.
That is it. And because the Bible says, unequally yoke will never walk. Unequally yoke.
Unequally yoked in terms of not having things in common, clashing on your morals, clashing on the basics, the fundamentals of the things that make you who you are.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're living together, if you don't have too much in common or agree on similar things, and then when you're raising children, which way they're going to go. So the whole point of a marriage, I guess, or a union is to go one together.
That is it. So I said to them, have you been to psychiatric hospital over there? He said, we haven't, but we know where it is. I said, if you go there, 80% of girls there who went mad are the people who are following a man as a friend, and that man has never said yes. And what they change his mind and go to somebody else.
Hope. Limerence.
Your hope is shattered.
And you wasted your time
Time.
That's I think the thing that most people don't understand. Human beings in general, actions. Even though women are intuitive and we can observe and we see like this, men are action driven because they go out like this, force. So when they see something that makes sense to they'll go for it. So when a woman is in the company of a man and she's unclear, the moment you're unclear, that means there's no clarity. If he's not hot on his tails, like, let's go out, let's do this, let me call you, he don't even like you as a human being.
And if that person hasn't said it, I will not hang my hope on that person. We are just friends. We are just friends.
So it's not our responsibility at all.
No,
to look.
You don't go looking for a man because they will think, because our culture too, if you go too forward, that boy will not even want you.
He'll think there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, no. You're coming too close. Can you just take a break? Hang on. And now it happens that way. And when you move so forward and put yourself in that situation, they see you as a desperate person and deal with you like a trash and drop you. Tell somebody off. Sorry.
What if there is a girl who hasn't got the confidence, who wasn't told or doesn't expect that?
They will just follow. That's why you see people back home, villagers, getting pregnant.
And in terms of like sex education, all that kind of stuff, as a woman now, let's just say blank slate, do you think that it is, what do you think about the age people should lose their virginity? Or what do you think about sex? On a neutral slate, just as human to human, what is it about sex that you think there should be a particular boundary of it, that it should be locked in between two adults that are married?
Sex is not a thing that should be rampantly practiced. Wasting your strength with women in your youth. Remember, when men start sleeping around at young age, there's a stage they will reach, there will be no ability to go. And if they happen to marry a younger person, the tendency of that person walking out and flirting is there. But when you preserve your strength and get married, every strength you have is into it, and you will be satisfied. But when it's power, it's something in you that you are wasting. Here. Then by the time you are getting ready to marry, you are a flop.
You're a flop. and no one's actually going to want a guy that hasn't got the ability, because no, it's not even just this. This is, well, they call it Ikenga. That is our source. No, for men and women, life.
Yeah.
Even that first instinct, like sometimes people will feel chemistry. This is just chemicals in the body.
Yeah.
And then if they don't have anything to do, they might, I guess, feel to release through flirting, release through kissing, release through dancing, or something quote unquote promiscuous. Yeah. Something, just a bored tendency to do something that doesn't need to be done, that can lead to something negative. But when you preserve that energy, that is sexual energy, because it's the chemistry, and you feel it there, you feel it in your tingly spaces, you can transform that into something creative or something productive.
That is it. I met this young man, in my village. He came to me on the road, talking to me. I could see him like this. I said, what?
Ew! He had a boner. He had the things going on.
Yeah, when I said that, because that's me, I was so blunt. I just said, Sunday, why? He left me and walked away.
On the open place?
Yes. So that can happen. And when it happens, anybody that comes into their hand is a prey without religion. There is something that makes you to believe that there is somebody who is higher.
Natural law.
Natural law. And that law is what makes parents, especially men, to, that girl I see you the other day, what do you have in common with that girl?
And these days, a lot of the dads are saying they're more protective of their daughters because of the guilt they have. They're like, I know what I was like as a boy, I wouldn't want you out.
Men who are womanizers,
they end up having a lot of
protect their children. I have seen a man who never allowed his wife, his daughter, to go out. Yeah?
It's overprotective.
When that girl got pregnant, what did she do? What did she say? She accused his dad that he never let me out. You are the one responsible.
So it's almost like they go to the extreme because of the guilt and the shame.
Because of no explanation, no sitting down and dialogue and guiding.
So now you and dad have gotten married, or you're now a married woman and you've gone through your stages, and then you leave to go to the UK. So you migrate to the UK. What was that like for you?
It was total isolation, loneliness, because we were in Ireland. He was studying, so when he goes to college, stays in the library, comes in late. Comes in late, and that place is a very cold place where there's no heating system at the time. So do you know where I go to? Library, to keep myself warm, then come home. So it wasn't an easy situation. It wasn't hunky-dory. It was, every time I would be saying I would go home. At a point, he believed that I might take my passport and run away. So he really was scared that I would leave because the way I was going at that time. And that time I didn't even know that I was pregnant.
Do you feel like the Nigerian nationality is similar to the British nationality?
How come? It's never similar. How can I be similar?
As in, because obviously it used to be a British colony. So?
No, for me it's not similar because I have independence. I go to places I want to. I visit who I want to visit. I cook my native food and eat, and you go to church, you can visit anybody from the church, but here you just come to church, hi. Some people will look at you out of pity, know where you're coming from, they will take you home for lunch, and some will prefer to be giving you a lift. In giving that lift, you are like a slave to whoever is giving you a lift, because when they come out, they will be greeting. I'll be waiting.
You have to wait.
You have to wait.
French.
Sometimes I go to the bus stop and stop and say, I'll be waiting and say, I mean, she come, let's go. But he's a very patient person, and the two of us work together to, to manage what we have and how we live. I was managing with my old clothes. He was managing with his. We couldn't go out to buy anything. But any penny we have, you just bring it. We go and buy a few things and eat.
So the friends that you made, because in all those pictures, there's a lot of people that were in the house in Jeffrey Road and in the very
These are people from church.
Oh.
Anytime there's an event, like when I had Chino, during dedication, from where we come from, we like to entertain people. And again, when we had Chino, many people in the church loved us. And then we were doing so many things like going to sing, and they know us, and most were mainly West Indians. They loved us. They come, and when I had Chino, they all came. Do you know why they did that? They watched our video, our wedding video.
Oh, the wedding video. There was so many people at that wedding.
I saw so many people, and we're asking, how did you invite them? I said, when you invite one person, he brings another person, and food is not a problem. So they saw the food, they saw everything. They were wondering. There was no cup to share drink. Everybody is having drink in the bottle, and the full of food. They were like, until they said to, after they watched the video, they said, we can see that wedding here is like funeral service.
Oh my God.
That was what the pastor said.
Pastor O'Neill?
Yeah. So it's like Africa, there was nothing in Africa. And then Africa blew it to show them that we have a lot to share.
And I think that's what I think is really important, because sometimes when you migrate, wherever you go to, I do feel like everyone should be an ambassador for their culture. Yes, there are dominant cultures that supersede and I guess govern the laws of the global rhetoric, but I do feel like everybody has their own culture that they come from, that's what makes you who you are. And like when you do leave home, you have to remember that your reputation is attached to your culture, to your identity. So in the same way where my mum is saying that when they came here and then they were socializing in the church, when they showed them the wedding, their own wedding, it invited them into their world and allowed them to see where they came from. And that is how people, I guess, connect on a human level, because we want to know, what's your background, where do you come from, what are you up to?
That's it.
Because when you're in a foreign land, you're a stranger and you do need to get with the program.
And there was,
no matter where you go.
I was wearing all my Nigerian wrapper and everything, tie, my head tied. They kept, how did you tie this? Is it heavy? I said, no, this is our outfit. But they did not know that we don't have money to buy the clothes you can wear
at
here
that stage. Dad was a student.
So I was always wearing my wrapper, and every time one of them came to me and said, you know what? You make me envious, You always wear your traditional clothes, you don't mind, I said, that's my clothes, and that's our outfit. There's nothing else I can wear. That's what I feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Do you know this lady got her daughter to marry a Nigerian?
Is it?
And if you see the way she dressed like Yoruba.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then what about that pastor that said the black people go to heaven?
Huh?
Who's the pastor that said the black people go to heaven?
I never know anybody to say
Africans go to heaven.
I don't know.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that it would take them to have microscope to believe that we are.
Because why do you think that is though?
I don't know. So sometimes from how they were brought up and what they are told about you, preconceived idea can go a long way to make you condemn, assume, and conclude that this is how this person is from what you heard about that person, propaganda, and therefore for them, Africa. One of them came to our house and said, do you know why you people pray so much? It's because there's no television. Can you hear that? In Africa. That's the picture they were given. So you can't blame them. They haven't been there. They're only giving pictures of how Africans are living in huts and there's, When I was in Ireland, a little boy came to me, hello, have you got time? Do you know what he was looking at? That we check time from our what? Image, our shadow. So you can tell. Sometimes is it how it is in Africa? They always come with all these little languages and words. And once when China was a little baby, somebody came up to me, oh, does he speak Africa? I said, excuse me, Africa is a continent, and Nigeria is just one of the countries in that continent. Which language do you expect him to speak? Is it Nigeria? Then if it is Nigeria, there are so many languages in Nigeria. Which one do you think? Oh, I thought. I said, well, this is it. So there are so many things that will put you off as a foreigner who comes in a place where you are not known, where they have already have a mind of concluded who you are and where you are coming from the picture they are given and from the story they heard about you. They look at you that way. And it is you who will prove to them that you are not actually what they think you are.
Do you need to prove anything to them though?
Well, from the way you live, sometimes they will say, oh, you will think, this clothes I'm wearing now, I hope they will. You try to think to be with like that. I refuse to be, to behave like I belong. No. I was myself, and I'm myself, and still myself. So these are the things that you see. Cultural clash.
Yeah.
Because I'm surrounded with people who do not know me, who do not understand me, who did not actually want to actually know. They only want to know about you, to talk about it, not that they are interested. Yes.
And I do feel like it's about background as well, because there are certain people who will come, and because they might not have seen anything in their own home, they feel small. So it's easy to convince them that they're not good enough because of a propaganda that someone put on them. But I feel like you did have a bit of privilege that gave you confidence. You had a huge social circle. Your dad was well known. He was a respected man. He took care of he had enough to take care of everybody.
Yeah.
Your brother had his own commerce school. You went to your uncle's school. That's where you got your certificates.
Yeah.
You had aunties in the north. You had people in different places where you could just venture to.
And I was exposed.
You were exposed.
People with both north, south, and east.
And your brother built the Benway State Hospital.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but you're brushing it. But to some, it's like me saying, "Oh, my cousin built Guy's Hospital."
Well, it's true.
Right. So I feel like there are people who don't come from that. Some people have more, some people have less. But depending on the way that you're brought up, is how you will be able to carry yourself in an outside situation where foreigners are.
Talking about carrying myself, I have never seen myself I'm from this and that. I was just myself. I wasn't. And sometimes people will ask, oh, are you from this family? I say, what about it? You don't behave. I say, what is different between what you think about me and my family? It's not. I know you may know my family, but I am myself. So I didn't see myself as I came from so family. No. I don't see myself. I only see myself as whoever I am is God. And where we are, that's how I carry myself as a child of God here. No matter what happens. There are so many things you see, you wonder, oh, is that how it's done here? We don't do it that way. So we have to adjust and maintain your lane. And not, you're talking about identity. Identity is something very, very valued to be protected. Sometimes they ask me, where did this come from? I am a law-abiding citizen of Nigeria. Then, from the picture they see as Nigeria, they'll be wondering, which kind of Nigeria does she come from? Some of them said to me, some Nigerians are naughty. Can you hear this? Then, to make me feel, I said, no. In a family, there are so many characters. They're not the same. So you don't take because of the other person and judge the other person. You may be better than that person. So this is the thing with being in a foreign land where you are not included, where you are not accepted. And you have to accept yourself to stand your ground and don't allow this to intimidate you. It is really a difficult situation that we are in. But then one has to walk around it and maintain your dignity.
Thank you guys for coming along this journey with us. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation so far. Did you learn anything new? Could you relate to anything we discussed? Write it down in the comments. Let's have a discussion. Do you come from a family of migrants? What has the story been like for your family? Multiple nationalities, multiple cultures, cultural clashes. What have you learned so far, and how has it made you the person you are today? Let's continue with our conversation on identity, on motherhood, childbearing, and naming children. So we're gonna wrap up with the last question about me. What was it like when I was born? What was pregnancy like? What was it like raising me? And what does my name actually mean? So be right back, and we're gonna get into it.
I said, no, my children are not like that. So I'll be you at 5 years or 7. I said, Dad, can mom and dad choose a husband for the child? Your dad said, it depends. He said, because some men will come and bribe you and give you money, then you choose your daughter to them.
Who said that?
You, in the car.
Where did I get that idea from?
I don't know. Bermondsey there.
And what did he say?
Seawood Estate. He said it's true. It happens. When you see what you watch in Hollywood, it's real life stories. It's what is happening.
But how did I know to say that?
I don't know. And the other thing he told me one day, Mama, if I marry now, I will have caravan. I said, what do you mean by caravan? In the kitchen. I said, you said, when one is hurt, it has to go there and stay. So before somebody kills another person. I said, why? Yeah, the Bible says, do everything within your reach to be at peace, innit?
I said that?
Yeah, in my kitchen.
How old was I?
I don't know whether 7 or... That time you were just bursting out so many things in your mouth.
Did you think I had some kind of...
crazy child.
When I was growing up, did you think I had some kind of... my brain was a bit different? Like maybe ADHD?
I don't think so.
Autism?
No. What I thought was that when you were 5, you said, I am Obi, I am different. I was monitoring everything about you till you're home.
But why was I saying that? Why was I acting a bit different from the rest of the siblings?
Everybody cannot be the same.
But why was I, didn't you think it was scary?
Yeah, it's not scary, that's how you are made. And again, however you are acting, when you allow God to make use of that acting, it will be good. So when it came to Obi, well, we were expecting another boy, but no boy was coming. Out of curiosity, we went in for scan. When we went to King's College Hospital, they tried to do ultrasound. They tried so many times, they said, I'm afraid the baby refused to open her thigh. For us to know the sex, we left it there. We didn't bother anymore. Whatever we see, we take. So she was supposed to be born on the 29th of May.
On Chinon's birthday?
Yeah. Everybody in the hospital wanted to see this baby. They thought it was a boy. And she was 8 pounds.
9 pounds 6.
9 pounds 6. So everyone was like, oh, they were all picking her up, wanting to know what she is like. What kind of a baby is this that kept mom here?
For how long?
I was in the hospital for a month, bed rest. That was why we gave her that name. Because every name we gave is linked to God's hand in our lives. We call her Oguneke. You are the creator.
Who is the creator?
God is the creator. You are the creator of this child and give it to us. Yeah, because we were hoping for something else. To have a boy, and he gave us a girl. So why would I be angry? All I need to do is your will have been done. Yeah? That is what you proposed for him to be.
So you've heard that, guys, right? My name is not Obumneke. My name is not Obi. My name is Obugineke. Obuchukuneke. It is you who creates. That is her conversation with the creator, saying that you decided what this child is going to be. We wanted something, we got what we were given, with all the up and down that was going on, with all the her moving around in the stomach, no one know whether it's a boy or a girl. We got what we were given, and it is you, the author of creation. So it's not a bumneke. Get it right. Back to the conversation.
So the second name we gave her was Chisimdi. You spoke me into being.
God said I should live.
Yeah, he spoke you into being. Whatever you are, he spoke you into being. So the life you are living is sin that determines the life you are living. So this is the history of your identity. And these names we give, we don't just give name randomly. We give name according to incidences in our lives and our journey with the Lord.
Because someone was saying to me, do you have an English name? And I didn't know what that meant. And I saw a TikTok the other day where people were like, what's your Nigerian name? What's your English name? And I keep having to say to people, like, I'm British, obviously, but I'm Igbo. So I'm going to have Igbo names.
Explain your name to them.
Yeah.
In English, yes.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. But I realised that a lot of people have names, what they call Christian names or English names. But names like John, and those are Bible names. But they're actually Hebrew and Latin and Greek names.
Yeah, they're English names.
Yeah.
And all those names have their meanings.
Yes.
And that is where parents took those names to give to their children. So you don't just call somebody sick.
Yeah.
Or you say bottomless. No. These are not names. The names you give your children can affect your children too. So I would suggest and prefer to connect the name of my children to the Creator who gave them to me. And in your growing up, you are such a child that always answered when you are called. Obi, can you do this? You run and do it. Obi, can you do this? Though we don't say, can you do please? We just, like we are from where they come from, we just give orders without considering where we are, the system we are in, and the way they approach issues. We just tell them, this is Obi, come and do this. Have you done this? Have you done that? And she will do everything. The thing about her is she is always ready to do what she is asked to do. She never said no. And I took it for granted. Then she misunderstood it, thinking that she was used. But everything she learned is what she's living on today. Cleanliness, orderliness, creativity. I was a creative somebody when I was growing up. There are so many things I did with my hands. I would think she took that from me. Handy things I do by repair, paint, do everything. She can live on her own and be able to fix everything that goes wrong, like washing machine. So when I speak, he said, Mom, I learned this from you. Changing the toilet seat, she was there when
and we painted the house together. I painted my bedroom purple. That was my favorite color. And then I painted, was it the living room or the corridor? Anyway, that's when I first learned how to paint rooms.
Yeah, because I was painting my house myself. So all these things, because I like to be independent. I don't want to, can you do something for me? And people took it that like I always do things myself. I haven't got the patience to ask you to do something, and you just say I'll do it, and don't do it. So I end up keeping my mouth shut and deal with whatever. You know, sometimes the training you get in your family, you think is suffering. It's a preparation to a life you never thought you would find yourself in. If it is not the training I got from home, I don't think I would have been able to cope with the system of this country, being able to do whatever I was doing. So that is my story about identity and the childbirth and the growing up.
If you could change anything looking back now, what would you change?
What I would like to change is the opportunity I didn't have to study. Yeah, that is what I would like to change. Because so many things happened that I wasn't able to actually see myself in the
academia.
world.
Yeah.
I don't regret anything. because my life, God allows me to live. And I have nothing to blame God for. The fact that He allowed me to live today is a miracle. There are other things I do that nobody knows except Him. Yeah? My own personality is the personality of God Himself, because He allowed me when I came to know Him. So there are so many things you want to change, but when you ask yourself, can you actually change it? Or you worry about it. Worry cannot change your situation. That's why I always go back to the scripture.
Right. So there you have it. That was interesting. I feel like with these kinds of dialogues, we learn so much about where we've come from, what the journeys were like for the people that brought us into the world, and we can also learn from them so that we can take the things, the strengths, and learn from the things that they might have struggled with, so we have better chances in future. But I do feel like from all of this, I have learned that how important identity is, how important your name means, because when you first meet someone, hi, my name is so-so-and-so. Ahambo, in my culture, they say, Gini boy hagi, what's your name? And I say, Ahambo, obogineke, mobo, obochukuneke, right? And then they'll say, oh, so where are you from? What's your last name? Who are your parents? That's how it goes. And that's why identity is important. Knowing where you come from, who your family are, why you were called the name you were called, and what your roots signal. So when people meet you and your parents are not around, you stand for what your family stands for. And then in your life, you represent who you've become, and then your children will do the same for them and you. So it's a continued cycle. So thank you so much, and thank you for coming in today and sharing your story with us. It was really interesting, very insightful, and I feel like I've learned a lot from this too. So yeah, well, one last thing, I have a song but I remember listening to when I was little. Well, when you were cooking chin chin in the kitchen, childhood memories. Cooking chin chin in the kitchen, summertime, you could smell the chin chin from upstairs. So we would wake up probably late on a Saturday and come downstairs and mum is frying akara, chin chin or some kind of food, and there's music playing on the tape recorder. So I've got a couple actually that I remember, but there was one that me and my sister used to laugh at, and I found it the other day on TikTok. Thank God for technology. There's a lady called Sister Patience, isn't it? Sister Patience or One and her Delight Sisters. So there was one, I'm going to play two. The first one briefly, it starts like this. What are they actually saying?
He said, my darling, you have a visitor here. He said, who is the visitor? It's your brother now, who is always asking. So he has come. And there's a way he will be asking and asking, all of them will be demanding, then I will leave this house for all of you to live.
Demanding for what?
For like money, give me
help,
money.
Support.
Then the man said, Ghana, listen, let's continue to ask. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Ghana, let's continue to ask. So have you come again?
Oh. Because when I used to hear it, darling, when she goes, and the man is irritated.
It's like, what is it again?
Yeah.
I hope it's not those people coming. Then he say, what do you who is it? What do you think? Don't you know who they are? They have come to ask again.
Oh, the wife is complaining that your people are here again to beg.
Yes.
Motherhood and being a wife to a husband who's too kind. Anyway, this is the other song, yeah? What is it? The song is called Onwa Abiaralam. Onwa Abiaralam. What's she saying? The guitar is so nice. What is she saying?
She says, let not temptation come my way.
Not temptation
come my way. When it comes, everything is gone. Like Job. Yes, you know, temptation that is above you to handle. You say, God forbid that it will come my way. Because if it does, things will go haywire. I won't be able to handle it.
Like save me from peril.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favourite song that you remember growing up that maybe your mum used to play in your language? And do you know what the lyrics mean? I'm still trying to figure it out. But thank God my mum is alive to explain it to me. And these are certain privileges that we shouldn't take for granted. Like my mum, she lost her mum when she was young. But we're fortunate to have my mum here to explain things for us and translate for us, because obviously I'm British and I was trying to pick up the language obere, which means small in Igbo language. So bye for now. Write in the comments, tell me your story, and let's move on with this. Who's next on the couch? Let's see what more we can learn about identity. Bye guys.
Bye.